he was about 9 or 10, and look at him now with professional debut. But he's actually got a decent opponent there tonight, actually.
Yeah. Look, as you said, looking forward to seeing George. He's certainly grown up, hasn't he, since we first know him. He looks a big, strong guy for the weight, but he's got an unknown quantity who actually looks like he can hold himself together pretty well. He's got a 3-1 winning record, never boxed in England before, so he's no real form to go off, and yeah, good little debut for George Killeen.
Definitely, you can see it already that his opponent there is actually compact, well put together, got his elbows tucked in nice. He actually has a similar boxing style to George, so this could be a good little fight, this one.
Yeah, and he's got that ambition of a winning fighter. You know, he's 3-1, he's probably still, you know, he'll know it'd be difficult, but he's still got his own hopes and own dreams, I suppose, and yeah, he's going to ask a few little questions of George. It's certainly not one of these gimme fights we get against the guy who's got 75 losses. You know, you can already see that straight away.
George, a very meticulous preparer. He lives the life. I know it's a cliche that, but it's true. He does live the life. He's a good kid. Got a good family support behind him. He's a dedicated young lad. And like I say, he's got off to a good start though. It's nice and crisp shots. The jab's working. And I think this is going to be a good little fight, this.
Yeah, everything's nice and straight, isn't it? He punches very correctly, George. You can see he's well schooled. And he's been brought up, born and bred in Matt Collier's gym, hasn't he? You know, people like Zelfa have done the same, but George's been there since he was a little kid, training amateurs with the McDonough brothers, and progressing through to a professional with Pat, and you can see that schooling straight away. Sorry about the phone ringing, vibrating through the table.
When I mean, he said when he turned pro, there's only one gym he wanted to go with. You know, he'd been with Tommy all them years, and now Tommy and Pat as a pro. There was only one choice for him. And you know what? He does look a good boxer, doesn't he? A nice, tidy boxer.
Yeah. Not neglecting the body, using that jab upstairs, downstairs. Landed a nice little left hook in that exchange.
I actually was the MC for his last ever amateur bout, and it was a good fight against, I can't remember his name, he was a good kid from the Fox. Really, and I knew then he would be a good pro.
That's a local derby, isn't it? The Fox against Colliers.
Oh, it was a great little fight that was.
Great atmosphere.
I think his name was Callum Daniels, I don't want to get it wrong, but yeah, it was a really good fight, and I knew then George would be suited to the pros, the way he boxes, the way he moves.
Looks nice and relaxed, nice and patient, doesn't he? Shoulders are nice and loose. Nice little right hand there.
And yeah, a good opening round. I do think George had the better of it, but it's not been, let's say, one-way traffic, because this kid here has come to fight a bit. It's Artem Sparta, 3-1. I mean, he's got a winning record at the end of the day.
Yeah, all this year as well. So turned professional in January, turned out 4 times, got 3 wins, and been the 6-round distance once and lost to a decent opponent. But yeah, George Killeen looked real composed there. Looked a good, steady fighter, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely. And you didn't get I mean, again, I said this with Garth. Garth didn't look, he took the occasion well. I think George has taken this occasion well so far. He looks very, he's boxed properly. He's not falling apart. And the pressure on a pro debut, you must be so nervous.
Yeah, especially for somebody like George, who's dreamt of this for years and years. He'll have imagined this moment, won't he, thousands of times. And he didn't let it all build up too much and become too much for him. He looked like he handled it all really well. And you can just look around, you can see Sean Ben Mulligan and other characters from his dad. George's dad's there watching, isn't he? You can see all different characters from the Collier's gym have come out to watch this debut.
Yeah, definitely. He's one of the boys, basically. And, even as a young kid, he talked the right talk. He's clearly got that Colliers and Moston, style. Confident, good, talks the right things, talking about his defence. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. And, at the end of the day, we do need some good new Manchester talent coming through, don't we? We need that, because this is a fighting city.
It is. And if George has come up in that environment there, that it's a tough environment to learn in Colliers and Moston, you've got to be dedicated and you've got to be on it and you've got to be willing to put 100% in. going to the pros won't be so much of a shock to the system as it is for some guys who join. You know, George has been bred into that mindset, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, some of their sparring sessions, I mean, it is a bit of a throwback in a sense. It's quite an intimidating gym to spar in because, you know, there's a lot of eyes watching who know the boxing. So, yeah, but they drill a lot of, as you know, John, they drill a lot of this stuff we're seeing now, the jab and move. And he's doing a good job of staying tidy in defence. But, you know, this will almost be like muscle memory for him because the amount they drill this sort of stuff. And he tried to pick a good right hand there.
He did, yeah.
A very good spot to try and pick a right hand. That shows his ring IQ.
Just willing to hold his feet for that split second and land it. Barely missed by a fraction, didn't he? So realising the gaps and noticing the opportunities as well. It's a good debut this from George Killeen.
Now, his opponent there, Artem Sparta, did get through with a right hand there a few seconds ago, but George took it well. But it was a good shot, and just a little reminder there as well. This is the pro game.
Solid, heavy jab that one, wasn't it? Just timed it absolutely perfectly. Looking a little bit red around the eyes, isn't he, Spartan? You know, you can see that jab's landing. There's no real bruising, but you can see his eyes are watering a little bit. I think he's finding a home pretty consistent, Killeen.
Few shout outs here. Big up to Sportbox TV News, showing love from New York City. Big up, supporting Hannah Bagley from New York to Blackpool. There we go. And then Harry, big up Chloe, big up Brenda, supporting George here.
There we go. Educated fight fans in America, Aki, know which show to be watching from England today.
Exactly. Sportsbox TV News knows where it's at. Thanks for joining us. Great to have you here watching the show with us. And George Killeen here, professional debut. He is about to get his second round in the bank. But again, you know, Sparta is showing some good looks, and George is having to think about this.
Yeah, this is a real good debut opponent. He's not getting the opportunity to switch off and let his mind wander and look outside the ring and look at his friends and family, isn't he? You know, because he knows it's in hand. He's having to be switched on for every single second.
I am absolutely buzzing off this turnout. The turnout is fantastic. You know, smaller boxing. You know, it's live and kicking smaller boxing. We often whinge about the big TV shows because, you know, the fights don't get made and this happens. But when you see this, you realise, you know, it reminds you what's good about boxing.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what as well, Bowlers and Black Flash Nights win the award for best food available at a fight night. You know, if you're ever thinking of coming, it's not just your burger and hot dogs here, is it? You know, it's good. It's a good venue, good turnout, good selection of stuff. It's a good night out at a Black Flash show.
I saw a guy with sweet and sour chicken and chips earlier. I'm thinking to myself, this is where it's at, really.
Oh, don't get involved in this old Chinese food debate, Aki, that's going around at the moment.
Okay, well, actually, I don't know about this. You have to fill me in at the break, and we'll come and comment on it. Third round here, professional career of George Killeen is getting underway tonight. He is in there against Artem Sparta, who has a winning record himself, and by the looks of it, he has come to win tonight.
Yeah, he's not lying down and back going into his shell, as he's come out and missed third to try and turn things around a little bit. Good fighter himself, isn't he? He certainly knows what he's doing. He holds himself well. Nice punch picking there from Killeen.
Well, yeah, it's the first time we've heard of him, which is not in a boastful manner, but we know a lot of people on the circuit, but I've never seen this kid, and that always does ring alarm bells a little bit because you think, whoa, what's he going to be like? And I'm glad he's a good boxer because, you know, again, it's like you just don't want to see easy touches, and I think George will learn a lot from this as well.
Yeah, that boxing brain's working well, as you know, just when Spartam's coming close, Killeen's just switched to that little uppercut, you know, so he's realised straight away the weapon to use when Spartan does close the distance, so that brain's working well. Just falling short a little bit in this round.
Yeah. I mean, it's the pace has dropped a little bit. Again, it's you know, there's all sorts of dynamics at play in a professional debut, isn't there? Tucking up nicely there.
Big adrenaline dump is a serious thing, isn't it? You know, once the first couple of rounds are gone, there's an adrenaline dump there in between at some point, but I think Spartan as well has just come out more determined in this third round and looking to try and get his own work off. Killeen's dealing with it really well. Nice little left hook to the body there. I
like that left hook to the body. It was good. It went under the radar a little bit, but he just dropped it in there at the end of a combination. It was a nice shot. And big up to everyone joining us. We've also got Last Bastion on there. Go on, George. A lot of support for George, and I know there's a lot here, but there'll be a lot of people from around Manchester watching George now. They all know him off the amateur circuit, and we're glad everyone that's joining in is enjoying the show. The pace has slowed a little bit. I think a bit of the early adrenaline has worn off a little bit, but
yeah, and it was quite a high-paced give and take fight, wasn't it? Not give and take with shots bouncing off each other, but both were trying to land shots constantly throughout the first couple of rounds. So to be expected, particularly with a professional debut, but still had everything in control there, Killeen.
Yeah, he's in control. He's in control. I mean, is there an argument for a share of a round in any of these? I mean,
I don't think so. I think Killeen's probably just edged everything so far, particularly the second half.
That's how I'm seeing it. That's how I'm seeing it. They're good competitive learning rounds, though. And just looking at them both in the corner, they're definitely, they know they're in a fight. They're feeling the pace a little bit, and this is good. This is what you want to go through in your, you want to tick a couple of boxes off, don't you? You want to go for. You want to take a couple of shots. You just to get used to the ropes. You got the small gloves on.
Well, I think Killeen's ticked a couple more boxes than a lot of prospects do on the debut. The fact that he's against a pretty good operator who's come to win. It's not a luxury. He's not been given a luxury of a performance rather than a debut. Killeen's had to work for this, and he can be proud of himself when the final bell goes if he gets to the end.
Absolutely. Fourth and final round of George Killeen's pro debut. We've got some Pete Naylor fans in the house as well. Thanks for joining us.
Everybody's a Pete Naylor fan if you've seen him fight.
Oh yeah, he's exciting to watch, isn't he? He just looks like a heavyweight you just want to watch, So what I've been impressed with as well, George is throwing the jab a lot. Even if he's out of range, he's just throwing it, just keeping him occupied. It's a good weapon for him. He's kept his shape.
Yeah, you can tell by his build that the jab and the straight shots are going to be weapons for him, aren't they?
He's a well-schooled, well-compact and put-together boxer. Now that can take you a long way. Look at Scott Quigg. Look at Anthony Crolla. These guys. They weren't flashy, but they were very dedicated. They were compact fighters. They did the basics and fundamentals really well, and even Terry Flanagan as well. I mean, look at these guys that you got from Manchester, who took that style and took it a long way.
I think we've seen some nice defence from George in this round. He's had shown some good head movement, got his feet working well. I've not seen Spaten land a shot. I'm pretty sure Pat might have told him to sharpen up that defence because look at another nice little bit of head movement there. I wonder if Pat's just told him to work on that in this fourth round because looking pretty slick. He does take a right hand there from.
Yeah, that was a good shot. Probably his best shot of the fight, actually.
Commentator's curse.
But a good jab back from George there as well.
Ooh, big trade of right hands.
And I think George just come off better on the exchange. I've seen a bit of reddening around the eyes of Spartan. And George did put some weight behind that one.
I think Killeen did feel that he got the better of that exchange, didn't he? He's just upped it a little bit. And Spartan just falling in and holding them for the first little time.
I think they both know they've been in a fight after these 4 rounds. I think they've tested each other. They've had to think. They've had to stay active.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. As 4 rounders go with debutants, it's been a real good watch, hasn't it? Spartan's turn to just come forward a little bit, but another clean right hand from Killeen there. He again gets the better of the exchange.
Couple of comments here. Duncan, hope you get well soon, mate. Thanks to Black Flash for the show. Excellent commentary. Thank you very much, mate. We didn't pay him. We promised we didn't pay him. And Hassanahaha, yes, you box with Pete. There we go. Perfect. So a lot of good supporters on tonight, and George Killeen gets his professional debut off to a great start there. Thought he was really good there.
Yep, had to think his way through the entire 4 rounds, no time for coasting, and I think he did more than enough.
And Stephen Reed is in the ring, and I think Darren will, it looks like a formality this, so we'll see and get the official confirmations.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, the referee Darren Sargentson scores the contest 30 points to 36. The winner, and his debut, George!
Yeah, 40 points to 36, every round for Killeen, but had to work in every single one of them, had to think in every single one of them, and I think that's a pretty solid debut there from George Killeen.